Colorado football. Colorado football starts their season this week, and North Dakota State versus Colorado. We talked about the betting lines on the Sports on Tap betting show, but I want to talk about Deion Sanders and why we all, for the most part, most people are rooting for Deion Sanders. And Deion Sanders is a little bit of an enigma, right? I mean, he's primetime, he's outspoken, and to be frank, he hasn't won anything yet in college football. Last year, they started off so hot. They were the biggest story in not only college sports, but maybe sports in all the United States at the beginning of the season. They beat TCU, who's in the national championship game just the year before, and then it was just guns a-blazing. Everyone was excited and ready to roll. Now, they have guys like Travis Hunter, who's going to be a top 5 pick in the NFL draft. They have Shedeur Sanders, who's also going to probably be a top 5 pick in the NFL draft. And the reason Deion is a little bit of an enigma is that's because he goes ahead and says a lot. He says, I'm not going to let Shedeur go to a cold weather city, for example, or I'm only going to let him go to a couple franchises. So he rubs some people the wrong way, but Deion himself is actually a great dude. Now let's talk a little bit about Deion Sanders. Let's go through Twitter, see what people are saying about this game. But in general, I think Deion gets maybe a little bit of a bad rap because he is Deion Sanders. Now, Deion Sanders has had a lot of interesting things happen here in the offseason. He had the thing with the CBS where he didn't want to, go ahead and deal with them, really. He was like, nah, I'm not dealing with you guys. I'm not. And one person criticized him. He doesn't really do good with criticism, and that rubs a lot of people the wrong way. But let's talk about the good he does. Look at what he did just a few days ago. Deion Sanders partnered with a local bank to help Colorado players who have children start their accounts with $2,121. He said, quote unquote, a child is not a mistake. A child is an opportunity to mature you, grow you, advance you, which is pretty heartwarming, according to ML Football. Now, is it heartwarming? Yes. $2,121. It's not about the, $2,121. It's about what that $2,121 means. He actually started for them something called a 529 bank account. And if you're not familiar with that, it's basically a college fund. It's a lot, really tax friendly. And he's not giving these players $2,121 just to give them $2,121. He's teaching them a lesson that you invest in your college future. You invest that for your children. And these are things that most people forget about Deion, that Deion is, despite his brashness, despite sometimes what people think is his arrogance, he's a good dude. Look at how well he's treated his players at Colorado or at Jackson State beforehand. Deion is definitely a good dude. He said this on fatherhood. We think we got to be perfect and we don't come from perfect. So how can we ever be perfect? We just got to be present. I'm a divorced father, but I didn't stop fathering. I built my life around my kids. I ain't no baby daddy. I'm a father. Now, here is the problem. North Dakota State. Well, let's talk about North Dakota State in this matchup. North Dakota State is a FCS powerhouse. They're one of the best FCS teams in the country, and they're playing a D1 Big 12 school. Used to be Pac-12. Now they're in the Big 12 school in Colorado. We have Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter Heisman hype. But this is a trap game for them. You're playing in an FCS school that hums like a damn machine. That's what North Dakota State is. It's an FCS machine. They're 10.5-point favorites. It's opened up at 8.5. They're the most publicly bet team in college football this week. And people are all over Colorado. The sports books today said it'd be like Christmas if North Dakota State covered. That's how much money is on Colorado. But there's a lot of lessons to be learned from Deion. And that's what I want to talk about today on work ethic. We have our propensity to dream, but in the midst of a dream, we never see ourselves working. We see ourselves in the car with the jewelry, with the money, but we don't see the work. Hey, wake up. There's some work that's got to be done. Facts. He tweeted 4 hours ago, you've got to develop an NTHEO attitude. NTHEO, they consistently forget you and never give you credit. God didn't. NTHEO, you were left out. Looked over and ostracized. God chose you. And even though attitude, man, sometimes Twitter doesn't. They thought you were done. God said that you never gave up. God got you, baby. Coach Prime. And that's the message he's giving to his players. Coach Prime is an excellent, excellent man, an excellent father. And we'll find out this year if all that makes him an excellent football coach as well. I like Colorado to win today, but I do like the Bison, the Buffaloes versus the Bison, to go ahead and cover that 10.5 point spread. And wait a little bit. I bet you'll be 11 by game time.